This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome to episode... I don't even know. I've lost count.
It's 8.
We're on 8.
I'm going to double
8
check. I think it's 8.
Of Too Old to Game. I am your fear-filled host, Dave Oster. I am not joined by Mark Weber. We can't dub those E's this week. He is busy. He's occupado.
We even moved it to try to...
We tried to accommodate, but, you know, real life gets in the way. Real jobs get in the way. We understand. Mark.
I hate it.
But we do have the original man-child himself and Ricky Widmer.
What's up, what's up?
And today we are going to be hitting a little bit of Spider-Man controversy. We got some complainers out there about graphics perhaps not matching up to what they were shown originally.
The purists are getting upset.
Yeah, well,
that's what I'm going to say.
When you promise one thing and then you show me a potato the next time I see the game, I'm a little upset.
Episode 8, by the way.
Episode 8, yeah, there we go. You are good.
I just double-checked.
You're good. So we're going to talk a little Spider-Man. We're going to talk a little Cyberpunk 2077, which they dropped their full... 48-minute like gameplay trailer of the intro to the game. It looks stunning. I just want to gush about it. And then, of course, as always, we will be closing up with some Fortnite tonight.
Well, and it's funny you say that because we're breaking a trend. Usually the title topic, since the last 4, it's been Fortnite, WoW, Fortnite, WoW.
I mean, we can talk... Like Fortnite or WoW.
We got to make the trend go. Fortnite has to be the first topic we look.
That's our last topic, just like it was last week.
It's got to be the main topic we look at, and that's what we got to do.
It was our third topic last week. It'll be our third topic this week. We're just going to keep it even and steady. Fortnite is
this will be the first non-WoW Fortnite topic that we've had the main since July 13th.
Fair enough. And before we get into Spider-Man and Cyberpunk and Fortnite, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping, let you guys know that if you want to support us even more than, you know, just going down below, dropping in some comments, hitting that sub button, hitting the like button, sharing it out. You could always go on iTunes. You give us a 5-star review. You could, drop a comment there. Tell us how much you love us and any of the other MVP podcasts that are out there. MVP podcasts, it feels redundant. The ATM machine.
It does.
You know?
The ATM machine.
But you could always do that. You can check us out on Patreon if you want to be even above and over the top. If you hit that $10 tier, you can join us on Too Old to Game or any other MVP podcast. I'm going to say it again. I can't not say it. And then finally, you can check out our website if you're interested in buying some merch, which is a black shirt like this, but it's got MVP on there, a sweet phrase on the back. Or just check out anything else that we toss up there. But let's get into it. Spider-Man. Look, Ricky...
I can't wait. I get it next week. It comes on Friday.
Not only do you get it, what else do you get?
I get the limited edition. It's not... I'm not expecting it to be limited edition. I'm expecting everyone to have it who loves Spider-Man.
So it looks dope.
The red PlayStation Pro with the Spider-Man logo on it. I cannot wait. I've had my PlayStation 4 for about... 4 years now.
God,
4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And we've had some great memories. We've played some great games. I've broken a few controllers playing Overwatch with that system. But it is now time for me to replace it with my Red Beauty that I'm going to get on September 7th. It's going to, hopefully, if nothing happens, it's wrong.
Yeah.
I get that thing when I get home from work, and that's all I'm going to want.
Maybe get lucky and it comes the day before even. I've heard a lot of stories about that stuff.
Oh, my God. Too Old the Game becomes a live stream then at that point.
I'd be down for that.
And we just play Spider-Man.
Maybe we'll set something up for that. But the big news around Spider-Man is there was a recent graphics issue, perhaps.
Downgrade.
Yeah, maybe a downgrade. The initial trailer that we had seen at E3 looked stunning. Let's be honest. It was beautiful. It was smooth.
Phenomenal.
Everything was just clean. It was shiny. Like there was so much to love about the looks of this game. And now we get another screenshot that was taken out of the gameplay, and it looks like a potato. And I'm being mean here because it still looks good, but it's noticeably less high quality than the initial one we had seen at E3. Which is really disappointing because it almost feels like bait and switchy. Like we can maybe toss a screenshot down below and a link for the viewers who are interested in seeing that if they haven't seen it. But like just to start at the front, it's you see Spider-Man gripping on a post, and his costume is clearly different, and it's the same shape, same everything. but the colors look more washed out.
Doesn't have the
He has no
gloss.
shine, no gloss, no reflection. And it just looks washed out. Like even the spider on his back, the shadows don't, nothing looks quite right. The villains at a distance look off. They look a little fuzzy. The water, some say, looks different.
There's a lot.
There's less
There's
of
a
it.
lot less puddles.
There's less of it, but do the puddles look as good even? So lots of things being pointed at as clearly they're downgrading the game. What they promised us they can't deliver. That was more of a cinematic, and this is the actual gameplay. And obviously we know in the past E3 has been the let's hype up our game, let's put it out on a souped up computer, make it look awesome in a cinematic. But then when it comes to release day, you get Watch Dogs or a couple other games have had similar issues where it just doesn't look as clean and crisp as it was promised. Ricky, as the Spider-Man lover that you are, what are your thoughts and feelings on this?
To me, it doesn't really bother me a whole ton because the point that I made to you is take away the top image and just look at the bottom image. If you didn't have the side-by-side comparison and were just looking at the bottom, if you were shown the bottom picture at E3, what would be your thought?
It looks all right. But you're buying a PS4 Pro for it. You want the extra quality, the extra graphics, that 4K ability. And what I'm being shown, and that's the problem, is because I've been shown something that's prettier.
And that's the problem.
You can't take it back.
Exactly. You can't throw a Lamborghini in front of me
and
then
here's
say,
this Kia.
Oh no, you get a Kia Sorento.
Yeah.
Is what you get. It's
I don't know why I'm
no,
picking
no,
on
no,
Kia.
no.
I actually love the Stinger.
Or I was gonna say you get a Toyota Highlander, what I drive. Here's the Lamborghini. No, wait, you're getting a Toyota Highlander that doesn't have good air conditioning, but it runs.
Yeah.
And I mean,
at its core, it's still definitely a car.
I mean, I'm looking at it though, and especially the suit. I don't think the bottom one looks that bad. Of course, compared to the top one, if you ask me which one do I want, I want the E3 one, no doubt.
But Jesus Christ.
But the E3 one, like you said, it looks like something I would see in a cinematic.
Yep.
Whereas the one below it, the release, looks like what I would expect from a game.
Yep.
And that kind of brings in the conversation of E3 of game companies feeling probably pressured to, hey, we got to ball out because we got to get hype. But then if you do that and you downgrade, then you upset people. Or you play the catch-22 of, we're just going to show them the release and they think it's diddly poo and no one buys the game. So really it's that double-edged sword of which would you rather have? Mad at release that you downgraded or show them what it's really going to be and people don't like it because, it doesn't look good. Yeah.
No, I mean, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't almost. I think the problem is that, we're at a day and age where game companies have screwed over people so many times. The whole...
Loot boxes.
Now, I wasn't even going to loot boxes, but yeah. You could just say...
the EA stuff.
Anything EA at this point. People are buyer aware. They know not to pre-order because... EA has fucked over so many people so many times, and you can't trust a company even though they make a game that looks like it's everything you want because you're not going to get it because that's their MO at this point. And we've seen companies in the past, do games that look amazing at E3, and when they come out, very few games look better than they did during those E3 demos because those are the most polished over areas. So what I'm seeing from my end is a lot of concern over, was this a concern of, that was running on an i9 computer with two 1080 Ti's, a spec'd out to the, insanely done thing, and that won't actually be what I get to play on PS4 Pro, because if I've got a PS4 Pro, I want it to look phenomenal. I want it, Spider-Man game, to me, I just want to feel like Spider-Man. I want to swing through a city. I want the picturesque. I'm flying through a city, left, right, just cruising along, doing backflips. I've seen the gameplay. It looks great, and I just want to have that freedom and that visualization. So if you're going to take away the visualization from me and make it look, less defined, less high polished, a little duller, I'm not going to enjoy it as much. I will be honest. There's something in the back of my head that goes, you could have had it better. Could have been better. And I can't turn that off because you've already shown it to me.
Well, and like right now, as you said, the thing about swinging through the city, I wanted to pull up the open world trailer that they came out with. And even with that one, like, it looks pretty fucking good.
It looks so good.
But now it's the question of even this that came out, this has got to be like a week. Yeah, August 15th.
Yep.
That this came out, 2 weeks. Is this what I'm going to see? Is this what I'm going to see, or am I going to see something that's different?
Yep.
Something tells me that what we're seeing in like this open world trailer is what we are going to see, because when I'm looking at the suit in particular, I'm not seeing, like, especially the red when he's in the sunlight. It doesn't have, like, his suit in here in this trailer doesn't have a gloss to it.
No.
So maybe it was, hey, for E3, we make it look cinematic. And now within these trailers that we're getting leading up to launch, it's more of like, okay, this is what we can expect to have from the Spider-Man game. I still think it's going to be an awesome game. And it's going to be great. Like, I
mean, did you see the trailer from PAX West? Is that what's going on right now?
Yes, West, the new one that came out, yeah.
Yeah, the photo mode, which is exactly, it's like, look how cool this is. Look how cool this looks of me doing this thing.
And I expect that because, like, what was one of the great things from Spider-Man? It was Peter Parker setting up the camera, getting the shot, the shot of Spider-Man.
Gotta get those big bucks from J. Jonah Jameson.
It to Triple J, baby.
God, I love that man. But yeah, Insomniac Games did come out and say, no, there's no downgrade at all. You know, they were just claiming, oh, the puddle size just changed. No real thing behind it.
Or like they said, like a video compression reason.
They're like, oh, no, you're seeing things because of the compression rate. I don't know. It seems sketchy to me. And it's one of those things where I went from I'm buying this game to now I'm like, Ricky's getting a system. I'm going to watch Ricky play for a bit.
Yeah. No, I am, like...
You're hard in. I get that. I have a reason to be.
Spider-Man, and
I'm skeptical, and at the same time, I also don't enjoy playing solo player games as much as you do. So, like, I'm going to watch you play, and I'll probably have more fun doing that anyway.
And, I mean, another thing, too, and I hate to be this guy, but I only say this because... I watched the gameplay from it today. Go back to like the Spider-Man game that came out for PlayStation and N64 in like 2000. Look at those graphics and then look at the ones that we're getting now and being like,
whatever.
All right, this is good.
It's better than it was, but the expectation of
Peter
growth.
Parker looks so blocky.
Dude, it was an N64 or a PlayStation.
I get it.
We're now on 4.5 basically. We're on PlayStation 4.5.
I get it. But it's like I look at that and I go, man, like even back then it was like, man, Sable's pixelated body is so like as a 10-year-old guy. That's what you think of as a 10-year-old.
Yep.
It was like we got a lot better now, but I get the whole. To me, it's the E3 conversation of do we ball out at E3 to get the hype?
Because if it doesn't look good there, you're not going to have a good release.
Exactly.
So you just eat the garbage that comes out week before release.
If I'm a company, I'd rather do it this way. If I'm a consumer, I rather have them do it this way, because especially for like us from the podcast standpoint, if we don't have hype, then we just shit on the game.
It's true.
And I don't want to on this podcast. I don't want to shit on stuff.
I want to be positive.
I want to hype stuff up. I want to have hype levels up to 10,000.
I would
it's
love
over
that.
9,000.
I would love that. I gushed the other week about World of Warcraft
because we hyped about that.
I'd love to talk about.
We're gonna hype about Cyberpunk in a couple minutes.
Yep.
Like I want this to be the hype show, not the let's shit on everything.
Exactly.
Show.
I don't want to be a negative person. It's not fun. But I do want to call them on their shit if they're deceptively showing us things that we won't actually get. And that's what bugs me as a consumer. I feel like I should be able to know the end product safely.
So
and
a
not
disclaimer of like, this is not gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give them, like they have those normally, but this was told that this was gameplay. We were told that that's what the gameplay looks like. Yeah. That is actual gameplay. And I was like, that's what got me so excited. Seeing that actual gameplay, I'm like, holy shit, that looks that good during gameplay. Not cinematic. This isn't a pre-staged event where things happen.
Yeah.
No, this is gameplay. And I don't know, there's just something about that where I feel like after it happens enough times, I start to get worried. And I know that it's not the same company every time, but you don't want to hit that EA world, you know?
Well, and I had to double check for
category,
sure. The good thing is this is not EA.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, maybe there's that. I mean, the other thing, too, that maybe play into it is, like, if this was a cross-system kind of a game.
Exclusive only, bitch.
This is only Sony. And it's mainly because Sony owns the rights for Spider-Man. So they can do it. They can bring in a group like Insomniac and say, make our game. And we're the only ones that can touch it because Sony has the IP rights to Spider-Man.
No, I think it's wonderful that happened because I really wouldn't trust anybody else. But I just don't want to have that backlash from fans. I think that there's got to be a better way. There's a better middle ground than to see them early to get the hype and then just piss off fans on release versus like let's show them where we're actually at now, and then if it doesn't sell as well off the bat, like it's already gold on sales. Like hasn't released yet. Gone gold on July 30th. Come on, that's insane. Like I get it, but there's got to be a bit. There's got to be a middle ground. That's all I'm asking for. Give some transparency, some level of like. No, this isn't quite what's going to ship with, but this is what could get, you know. And then
it begs the question of, even if they give a disclaimer, like, yeah we're not going to see it. Do people get hyped up because it looks awesome? Yeah. Or do people get skeptic because it's like, all right, I get this looks awesome, but I still don't know what the gameplay looks like. I
think you just need more transparency is the answer. If they give you, like, I almost want to treat it like a project, like, show me a weekly, like, hey, we're working on this week. We're working on that. It doesn't have to be. You can give me a 12-second clip of Peter Parker swinging and looking amazing. I was like, oh man, that looks awesome. I'm so happy with this game. Like, I feel like game companies don't do enough transparency or don't participate enough on social media as a transparent company, as a transparent dev team. Because I know it's not always. You're not always going to have like, oh well, we just coded in this guy to do this thing and this interaction. Like that's not sexy. But when you have gameplay that you can actually show us that looks good, it looks polished, like, please put that out there. People want to see more. People want more. The more you give them coming into it, the more they'll want it, kind of thing for me. And that's where I get my frustration out because I just feel like if I don't have the information, I'm not making an informed decision. And
that's like the one thing for me, and I've got to look up to see if they did it this year.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really notice if they did or not, but... Like last year for Madden, the thing I liked was when EA did the separate, like, hey, you know what? Look at this feature that we're going to have in Madden. It's going to be a first feature here. And they would come out with these before the game released to where it's like it's getting you pumped for that. Where it's like, hey, this is the changes we're making to franchise mode. This is what we're, like, for example, the hockey game they did it where they're like, hey, we're going to talk about the real physics engine. And they actually showed gameplay of, like, this is what the engine would look like last year. And fucking put the screen of what it looks like this year. And it visually gets you hyped to where it's like, yes, it looks so much better. I can't wait to play this game. I can't wait to pull off these moves that I couldn't pull off last year with the old physics engine.
Exactly. I think that it's harder for games that don't have direct sequels like the like any sports game, really.
Yeah.
But... I still think the more you do, the more you put out there, the better the fan reception will be. I just want a middle ground. I don't want to be deceived anymore. I want some transparency on that front. Any final thoughts on Spider-Man? You're just hyped and
not wait.
Maybe
for
we'll
next
get a live
week.
Stream out of it next week.
Oh, like I've talked to Mark already because I asked him. I'm like, when I play it, should I live stream it or should I let's play it? And the way Mark has said is he thinks stream it because it makes our life easier.
And we'll put it up on YouTube after.
Yeah, it'll be there. But like, it just, in his mindset, it's easier than editing like putting the face cam in, and on a stream it's just automatically there.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Can't wait to see it. I'm going to be there probably. I'm going to invite myself over to watch you play Spider-Man.
But the thing you really want to talk about is some Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077, people. They released their like 48-minute gameplay. Yeah, 48-minute look from Gamescom pretty much. And it looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. It looks like it plays fun. Tons of options out there for customization. The RPG aspect of it. Right off the bat, it's male, female, pick your, like there's a in-depth level of character customization at multiple facets. There is even like an RPG aspect of it where it's like, okay, where would you like to set your cool rating at?
Yeah.
Like, you have a cool rating in this game. You got,
Cool rating.
It's like, I guess it would be like equivalent to like charisma, but you've got these different things you put different skills in, and then you pick your own background. Like, where am I coming into this storyline at? Do I feel like I want to be this guy or this guy or this girl? So right off the bat, I'm a huge fan of the customization. I think that the more that you can, feel like you're part of making the story, the more invested you're going to be as you play the story.
You know what's fucking funny?
Yo.
So I'm looking at the 48-minute walkthrough gameplay.
Yeah.
And you want to know what they put right at the top?
What's that?
Like, you watch the game, like, you watch the cinematic part. Or actually, no, screw it. I think it's there right from the beginning of the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's right there from the beginning. They have at the top, watermarked, work in progress, does not represent final look of the game.
Exactly.
Like, there's the transparency you're talking about.
Just give me that. Let me know.
Now, the thing I'm wondering, and this isn't a huge deal breaker, but at the beginning, when they show the appearance, are they only pixelating out the body parts for this, or in the game are they going to be pixelated out?
I don't mind either way.
Go balls to the wall. Let's see them non-pixelated.
Full on Conan style.
I want to see how this is not really the game. This is not what we're going to see in the game. Take away the pixelation, Dave.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't mind seeing some dong in this.
Witcher 3, a game that the same company made, had the downgrade issue.
So they're learning from their
downgraded.
mistakes. Yeah.
So that's the thing where they want to put the playthrough out in front of people and make sure that you get to see what we're actually doing at this stage. This is what it looks like, kind of a thing.
It looks fun. Like,
right
even
off
just
the bat,
diving and like sliding and like the shooting.
So right off the bat, I want to get into the ability to kind of control the world a little bit. The way you interact with the world. It's supposed to be one of the smartest open worlds we've ever played. The AIs interact. There's so much interaction you can have between multiple points of AI. The fact that you can, like, it's decision-making based. So you could say one thing, have one outcome, say something else, different outcome. Completely different gameplay. You can play this like a Splinter Cell game and be like completely stealth killer. You can go out like
guns blazing, double Uzis. Like,
seriously. And the fact that on top of the customization you got at the start of the game, your gameplay is customizable because there's
kind of Mass Effect-y.
Yeah,
like,
I guess I didn't play a ton of Mass Effect, I'll be honest.
Where basically your choices actually fucking matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect the story, it affects you as well.
Well, it affects both, and that's the cool thing. It's like your playstyle, you go in for like getting your eye upgraded, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe I want to have a hand that gives me like better magazine clips, or does this, like, they showed the ability to have heavy customization to gameplay by basically having cybernetics added, integrating with your body, which is very cool because that means my gameplay can be heavily changed by that, and I can change the way I play constantly. I don't know if there's a way to change, like, I want to play this as a shooter, and then I want to come back later and switch over to doing this way.
I'm surprised you like this game because you hate making choices.
I know.
You are so indecisive. Yep. But Dave's like, hey, I can make a choice here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to come back.
Maybe I can come back and change it later. Maybe I can.
Like jumping in at different bookmarks.
Yeah. The ability to drive a car. The scene they showed was like a chase scene where a van cuts them off and you're shooting them. Looked great. The combat, the fact that you have bouncing bullets. Like, I love the futuristic
not just
twist.
Curve the bullets.
No,
we're gonna
bounce it off of walls.
Yeah.
And you've got different guns that can shoot through some walls. You've got different play styles. There was like even one scene with like giant arms that were like stabbing into the wall, so you can kind of climb up the wall, but then combat with them and slice people. Like, there's just so much about the first playthrough, and I know it's 48 minutes of gameplay that you let me know you did not like the fact that they did gameplay right off the bat.
It's not that I didn't like it. It wasn't like, oh, why did you do this?
Yeah.
It's for me, like, I saw it, and I was like, I'm the kind of person where I don't want to see it, because then it's like, all right, the first 48 minutes of the game, I'm going to feel like I've seen already.
Yeah.
Like, when I buy your game, when I get your game, I want that to be the first time I'm experiencing that. Yeah. To where, like, the other stuff where it's like, oh, we're going to have a gameplay trailer, and they just show you, like, types of the gameplay. That's different than, like, with this, I felt like almost I was like, I don't want to get what the story's going to be because I don't want it to be where I know what is coming up. It's like, think about the movies, mainly when we were kids. They've stopped doing this for good reason.
Trailers gave everything.
Exactly. Like Down to Earth with Chris Rock. Yeah, you didn't need to know much of that story. It was like a comedy. Like the story didn't really matter.
Did you see that was on yesterday too?
Yeah. But I remember the trailer for that when it was in theaters.
Yep.
If you watched the trailer, you saw every good joke from the movie.
Pretty much.
And it's like, yeah, we don't want that. And that's why I didn't watch it. But like you were saying, maybe because there's so much customation with this where there's different choices and some of the choices they may make in this you don't have to make.
Yeah.
And how it affects your character.
Yeah,
and
something might lead you to combat while the other one might take you a different path.
And even how you make your character is going to be different than them. Maybe then at that point I'm like, you know what? Then it's not inherently bad that they did this, but usually when it's like, hey, we're going to give you a half hour, 48 minutes of the gameplay walkthrough.
It's a lot.
And then it makes me think, how long is your game?
Oh, I'm hoping for like 20 plus hours.
I'm not
Easily
like saying
20.
like, oh, it's going to be too long, but like there's a part of me too where it's like if I already know the first 48, then it's going to make that first 40. I don't want that first 48 then to feel like a chore.
No, I don't think it will because you can do different things.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like initially.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like any other game, like usually when I see that, it's like, great, now the first 48 minutes of your game is going to feel like a chore because then I got to get through that to get to the new stuff that I've never seen.
The first 48 minutes of Final Fantasy VII.
Exactly.
I've played that 15 times. It is a chore. Yeah. No doubt. But
unless you get stuck on the train like me.
Yeah, that was the worst glitch ever. That train never actually stopped. That was ridiculous. But yeah, this game looks like the ability to change your answers, to change the game will heavily impact that. So you won't feel like it's not a chore anymore. It's interactive gameplay.
I like the pull in the shirt. Everything is sticking to us.
Balmy.
This is room, podcast numero tres.
It's third podcast in the night. It's also about
4 hours.
It's 4 hours. We're in a small room.
You've been in this room 4 hours. I recorded Brandon's video, so I've been here since 4, so it's 5.5 for me.
It's disgustingly hot in here. There's no air conditioning. It's like 90 degrees. Yeah. It's just...
My ears are sweaty.
I am completely sweaty, but I do want to give this game the respect that it's due because the art style. Can we segue in from the gameplay, which looks great, to art style, which they're taking a Cyberpunk to its core in Night City. And I think it's Night City. I feel like I said that wrong, even though I thought it's the right one. But regardless, it just looks gorgeous. Everything looks in place. There's nothing that sticks out in a bad way.
Like, even the differences for it's like, oh, you're in like an underground area of the city and it looks a little darker. And like, even that compared to when you're outside and you actually see sunlight. Yeah. And it's like visibly different where everything's more vibrant. Yeah. And the colors are just phenomenal. Yeah. Plus, I'm watching the part right now where it's like, oh, we're investigating a crime scene. And them actually being able to see with pixelation, oh, what went on here?
Exactly. You get to see like the holographic, reenactment or whatever they want to call it. It's just there's so much to like about this game. And this is where I'm like, I go in full family. I'm like, I'm going to buy it. That looks amazing. This looks like it's going to be some of the best gameplay. It even got me back to go back and look at the older Cyberpunk. I think it's like, 2000? Whatever it was, the older one. I was like, where did this come from? Like, was this... I at first didn't realize there was a history to this game that, it didn't just pop out of the nowheres, as we used to say.
Popping out of the nowhere.
The Boomas were popping out of the nowheres. Fantasy Star Online right there, episode 1 and 2, for those of you who...
oh, man. Yeah. Didn't we get that from Princess Mononoke? Isn't that originally from...
It might have been.
Reinforcements.
We're doomed. Yeah, it was something, but it was our group. Yeah. We said during that, and then we translated right into Fantasy Star because that was what we played. But yeah, I think that it's just there's so much to this game, and there's so much that I think they could do that I think the first 48 minutes is like, it's just the tip of the iceberg. I think there could be so much that they could do story-wise. There's so much they can build on and add to this game. I know there's not been a lot out about it. So that's why I'm so excited that they released 48 minutes to the public.
And like you said, the big thing that makes it different is that the choices. Yeah. Because there's the choices, then it makes that first 48 different. To where I'm like, okay, maybe I can watch a little bit of it while we're recording this podcast. Where originally I saw it and I was like, get those spoilers away from me.
Yeah.
This is a non-spoiler zone, Dave.
But
non-spoiler zone.
Like, this isn't Rick and Johnny. We're not doing a movie review.
No, but I mean, like,
I know what you're saying.
In general, I hate spoilers.
I got a question for you, though, because there's some of the early feedback. The only negative feedback I've heard, really, is the first-person view throughout.
I don't mind
instead
it.
of the over the shoulder,
like third person.
Yeah,
you mean I don't mind it. I'm used to that stuff with first person shooters, like Call of Duty. I'm trying to think of,
but like a game where it's story based like this. I mean, where do you fall on that line?
Depends on.
Because it's a little bit of both. I shouldn't say just story based because we've seen the action.
Looking at the combat, I wouldn't want it to be over the shoulder. It would be way too hard to kind of manage things. Now I can see for someone like you said, Splinter Cell. If you're trying to play it like that game, then maybe over the shoulder would have been better. Because like Splinter Cell, it's okay. I got to move this body over here, or like even Hitman, is like that too. But like when I was watching the gameplay of the actual like fighting stance that they had early on, if that was third person, it would be highly impossible to like get the aiming down. Especially where it's like dive, she slides, pops up, pop, and then I can actually like see where my reticle is.
Hey, you got it.
And I can shoot everything and bounce them off stuff. A game like Spider-Man, it works for third person.
Can you imagine Spider-Man first person?
No, I wouldn't.
It would just be too hectic.
I wouldn't want to. It's like when
too much.
It's like when the ESPN football game was like, we're gonna give you the first
quarterback view.
No, not that.
Oh,
I'm talking like the ESPN PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
When they're like, we're gonna put you in the helmet, and all you saw was this, like blinders. You saw out of the helmet, and you literally, while running, had to use the other stick to turn the head. I'm like, fuck, this is stupid. Like, I thought it was going to be the coolest thing ever, first person. And then it's like, this is a chore because I don't have the over the body, and I can't see this linebacker coming, and he blindsides me every single time.
Realism, though.
It was so real, but it was ahead of its time. Now, VR.
If you got that in VR, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
It'd be a way different game. But yeah, I mean, with that coming back to Cyberpunk, it's just, I don't think it would work in third person. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it could be played in third. I don't want it to be played in third person. But
you want it to be that first person?
I liked what I saw. What can I say? I'm a sucker. If you show me something great the first time, that's what I want, and it looks good. If they add the option to play third, I might give it a shot. But I just, that's not the way I envision playing this game after seeing it.
I always felt like it also depends on what you want. If you want like a game like Spider-Man, I'm not Spider-Man. So obviously I'm playing as Spider-Man. Yeah. And then it's like third person because it's like, okay, that's not really me. I'm playing as someone else. In this game, you're creating the character. You are the character.
Right.
So
you are V.
Kind of like Call of Duty. They have that mindset of, you may be playing as, I'm going to make up a name, Goose. You're playing as Goose. Yep. But you are Goose. Like, that's who you are. So when people talk to you, first person, you're looking at them much like you would in your own body. You see me, Dave. I only see you. I can't see my face.
Oh, there's a trippy scene actually in the trailer in the gameplay where they're removing her eye, and you still see where the eye is as he's holding it around the room, and you're seeing that, and it's the weirdest thing. I was like, oh, bravo. That's first person done right.
But like that's why it depends on what it was. If it was you were playing a character like the Spider-Man game, or you're not Spider-Man, or like Batman, you're not Batman. But in this game, you're creating that character. You are that character.
I feel like
it
makes
makes sense.
It gives a different perspective, and it feels more engaging to me.
Yeah.
So it hits home with me. I'm fine with it.
And it's what, exactly like you said, it's what you want to hit home, what you want to tell with this game.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, how do you best tell the story? And with all the decisions, all the impact that you have, being that first person, being V, that is the answer. So I'm with him on it. I think it might be a little bit of over outrage just because. But
I think in this day and age, people like just to get outraged.
Yeah, there's an outrage culture.
Like,
there definitely is.
And plus we live in the mob culture too of like, this looks like crap. Yeah, it does. It looks like crap. crap. It's like, come on, guys. Can we just hype stuff up and be like...
But we've probably got like a year and a half before this game even comes out still. There's so much time. There's so much to
2019.
do. 2019, we'll see. I'll be honest.
Do you think it's going to get pushed?
I think it might get pushed.
Just like Spyro got pushed?
Yeah. Oh, don't bring up that. That's bad news.
I hated that. I saw that and I was
That's
like,
bad
what?
news bears.
No. My childhood got pushed.
I'm hoping that it doesn't get pushed, but I think it will. If it makes the game better, I'm cool with a delay. I would rather them release a full game than do what so many shitty games have done and be like, hey, here's what we've got so far. We'll hit you with the next in a DLC or in a patch. Sea of Thieves. Holy shit. I know that was in the first episode.
You were hyped on that one.
It's being a pirate. It's the coolest, as a kid, I'm sorry, I just put my childish mentality in, I'm like...
And you were like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome.
I get to shoot cannons, it's cartoony, like, it looked fun. I get to shoot cannons, I get to board ships, I get to steal booty, like, this whole thing looks like fun. You can grief people, you can fight sea monsters, but there's so much to do.
The game I talked about from E3, I can't remember the name of it, looked like that, but way better.
Yeah, I know. But then
Dave's
it turns out...
shut up, I was wrong, okay?
No, I wasn't wrong, but they released a game that didn't have gameplay to it.
True.
It was like, here's your 12 quests that you can go on a rinse and repeat cycle for. You're only loaded into a world with about 6 other ships, and that's those same 6 ships till someone logs off. So they're like... You just turn into griefing the same people over, and that's not fun. That's not truly open world. That's not. You got to give gameplay. You can't release a game without gameplay. It's so frustrating that they thought that was okay.
Look at WoW. WoW does that perfect, like that kind of thing, perfectly.
There's always something to do in WoW. You can't just do nothing, and that I get it. The Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing, but there was something there. There was substance.
It's a game about nothing.
Yeah, it was. It was an open world nothing, and it's like, well, why do I even want to play this game? Because you see the same boats, the same missions, the same things.
Especially
None of the gear.
If the other ships keep killing you.
The fact that there was no gear advancement was another thing that was a unique tie they did. There was like pirate, you are a pirate, he is a pirate. It's only going to be visual. What separates the best and the worst players is how good they play the game. Yeah. And I'm like, but where's the sense of progression? Yeah. Where's the true sense of building and growing? You're a big
progression guy.
I'm a huge sense of progression guy.
Because like that's like even dating it back to, I'll put it back to WoW.
Yeah, it's fine.
With I was a casual guy of, hey, if I get to the next raid, that's fine. You were like
I can't run cars on for the 800th time and wipe still.
Exactly. Where
My
I was
brain
like,
hurts.
I'm just happy to be here.
There was nothing else for me to loot there. I had to move on. I love raiding with you guys, but I had to. I came back.
Yeah.
I made an ult. We had fun, but like once you get everything you can get out of something, there's no motivation to keep playing.
Dave, I find like it's nice being in Gruel's lair. Hey Ricky, I'm on Black Temple.
I'm in Black Temple. We're going to Sunwell next. Catch you later. You're like, well, I gotta do my thing.
Keep or Temple, was that what it was called?
Tempest Keep.
Yeah.
TK.
That was as far as I got, I think.
Yeah, TK and SSC. Serpentine Cavern.
I might have gotten to that
because they were on the same tier.
Yeah.
So
I probably got to those two. Probably my highest.
Yeah.
Never got to Mount Hyjal.
Yeah, Hyjal was fun.
Right before Black Temple.
Right.
Was Tempest Keep and SSC right before Mount Hyjal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were. So it was, tier 4 was Karzan. Tier 4.5 was Gruel's Lair. 5 was SSC and Tempest Keep.
So that's right.
5.5 was, or I think Magtheridon's Lair is in the same tier. It was like the Gruels of the next tier.
Oh, and then they added ZA in between.
Yeah.
Karzan and Gruels.
Yeah. Yeah, the 10-man ZA redo. That was weird. But it was a ton of fun. And again, progression makes the game.
Yeah.
And
the other thing I didn't like with Sea of Thieves was when I heard that there were no safe areas. I
love the idea of no safe areas, but there's not enough people. It just sounds like a grief for paradise.
But it's like, I'm the person where it's like, if I'm turning in a quest and stuff, and I'm not like, when I'm out in the world, fine. But like when I'm in this area selling, like basically, like I'm not going to engage. And people would just be like, "Oh, fuck you, dead."
Where's your sense of realism?
I get like it's a game. There's a sense of realism, but I don't want it to be that real.
I love it. I love it in
some
theory.
Sort of a safe
they drop
area.
the ball on the gameplay, and that's. I look at a game like Cyberpunk, and I'm like, these people get it. They understand what people are looking for, what kind of gameplay people want, what will keep people moving forward. Because I'll be honest, I watched the whole thing because I really wanted to, and it looked great. and it looked great. And I'm like, I want to know more. I want to know so much more about this universe. I want to get like entrenched in it. And that's why I started, like I said, I started looking up like about Cyberpunk in the past. And that's the sort of vibe I get from it. It's like once you build more than just a game, you build a culture, you build a community around the game. And that's where you truly succeed as a game developer in my mind.
Yeah.
So my hype levels are off the charts. I've got a long time to wait, and I hope they keep releasing just a little bit here, a little bit there, moving forward, instead of just total like nothing till the next E3, nothing till the next whatever. But that's where I'm at. Ricky, any closing thoughts?
I was just gonna say we need our daily or our weekly Fortnite update.
Yeah, Fortnite update. We are still not playing Fortnite, but Fortnite is going to be a segment every single week on our show.
I was asked by my students how much Fortnite I play.
So much Fortnite?
Which I said pequeño.
Pequeño.
Because I'm trying to. Yeah, there's a couple of them that were like, "Do you speak Spanish?" So I was like, pequeño.
I took 4 years of Spanish, and technically I have a college credit. And I don't speak Spanish well enough to be confident.
4 years of high school and technically 1 year in college because it was 2 semesters.
Yeah. I mean, you understand words here and there, but I would not feel comfortable conversing in Spanish.
I cannot like have an open conversation.
But you understand words here and there.
There are words where like today with the little kids, manos. Ojos, like there's stuff like that to where you can be like, this is what I'm talking about. Like these are things that I understand. Or like I tried to be really fancy with the older kids and said Universidad.
Universidad.
I know. Nice. I could have just said university. They're
good on enough. You. Side note though, in our closing of the show, that went to Wizard World in Chicago here.
How was it?
It was great. It was a ton of fun, minus the fire alarm at 2 a.m. going off because somebody was an idiot.
Have one of those.
Somebody was an idiot. It was on Sunday morning, though, so it was terrible. But no, it was a ton of fun. Loved it. The only thing that I wish that was better was the after party. They didn't host it at the hotel like normal.
You guys actually went to that,
We tried.
You?
We did go to it officially, but like there was nobody there. It was like a bunch of locals instead of like... people going to Wizard World.
So it wasn't like it was last year?
No, they hosted a restaurant in the area, and like we were very disappointed because everybody dressed up.
Because last year was at the Hyatt.
Yeah, everybody dressed up. It was at a bar, and it was like there were more people outside from Wizard World than there were inside. And we like went in, we like hung out for like 15 minutes. Like there's like no one here from Wizard World actually for the after party.
Out of place in your
hilariously,
cosplay.
Hilariously. So we walked back out, talked with them for a bit. And they decostumed, and we went out and had dinner anyway, and hung out and shot the shit. But like that was the only thing. Outside of that, great time, great people, tons of good cosplay there, and actually picked up some board games.
Well, you know which one's coming up? The next con coming up that I've always wanted to go to.
Actually going on right now.
Exactly. The only way I heard about it was
really?
Xavier Woods mentioned it on SmackDown.
Yeah, people mentioned us in the hotel elevator. We were talking to a couple of older women, and they were like, well, this is just kind of like a pre-con for us. We're going to the real con next week. I was like, oh, you're going to Dragon Con? I was like, see, he knows. He knows. I was like, yes, I do. I respect Dragon Con.
Because Xavier Woods is like, I had to come back before I'm at Dragon Con next week.
Yeah, no, Dragon Con's huge. We will go at some point. But we did pick up...
Is it always in Atlanta?
Yes.
Or Hot Atlanta, as I should say. Hopefully not as hot as this room.
This room is just disgusting at the moment. I want to end this show. But we did get some great board games. Yeah. I do hope we can play them.
You had a zombie one you were talking about.
I got Zombicide, Black Plague. Mike got a couple things. Johnny got a couple things. Like we got a lot. We got a good spread. Maybe we'll have a gaming episode where we board game it out and just play it out. Thoughts for the future, maybe. But thank you for joining us during this episode. It was great. We talked about Spider-Man and the PS4 Pro.
1 week away.
1 week away. Going to be glorious. Cyberpunk 2077, much further away, but I'm much higher on it because it looks
glorious.
Nice. And of course, Fortnite, as we hit every single week. And a bunch of other small stuff in the middle.
The too old to game Fortnite update.
There you go. I think we make that official.
Dave's Fortnite update.
No, it's yours. It's your Fortnite update. But thank you for joining us. Appreciate your support. Hit us up in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, all those catchy things. Yeah, thanks for listening.